What are your suggestions for a chaste courtship? Very good question. Very good question. Okay. Most people are called to that state in life we call matrimony or marriage. The vast majority of people are called to be married. Okay. Therefore, that's very, very important. God holds marriage in very high esteem. How high? It's a sacrament. One of the 7 sacraments. Most people know that they're probably going to get married. I run into women and men all the time who are good people, active in the church, receiving the sacraments. But I can't find anybody. I can't find somebody like that. What do I do? Well, first of all, pray. Now, I'm Italian, you know that. I grew up in an Italian family. I grew up in an Italian family run by priests from Italy. When the Italians came over, some of the Italian missionaries came over to take care of them. So we had, even when I was a kid, I remember we had at least one Mass in Italian every Sunday morning. We have great devotion to St. Anthony, right? You know that. You Italian people, you know that. Oh, St. Anthony, any Italian parish, you always got St. Anthony, right? He's got a prominent place. St. Anthony's big time with Italian. So my grandmother always used to tell the girl, they'd say, oh, but Mrs. Bianco, I can't find a man. And my grandmother would say, pray to St. Anthony. St. Anthony? Yeah, he finds lost things. You can't find a man? Pray to St. Anthony. You pray, Tony, Tony, find me a man. Do it, please, as fast as you can. But for a chaste courtship, okay, say you find somebody you're interested in. Think, hey, could be, maybe. St. Thomas used to say an error in the beginning is an error indeed. It's good at the level of principle, at the level of starting out. Try not to make a mistake there. Don't think with your hormones. Now, that's easier said than done, when you're a teenager or, young person. Think with your head. First of all, you want to have somebody you're compatible with. Somebody with the same faith, hopefully. And I know this may sound strange and a lot of people wonder, you asked me the question, I assume you want me to give you the answer. Okay. Now, knowing what I know today, years after the fact when I was a teenager, believe me, I didn't know this. Nobody told me that. You're interested in this girl, this boy, you're going to go on a date. First stop, the church. Now, stop off at the parish church, kneel down at the altar rail or in front of the statue of Our Lady and say the rosary together. Or at least say some prayers together. Blessed Mother, help us to be pleasing to God. Say a few Hail Marys, Do something. Include Jesus and Mary from the first day. Do it. And you won't make an error in the beginning. Because after, 2 or 3 times, and, sometimes it may have to be one or the other that pushes this thing. Usually the woman. But not always. Sometimes the man is a spiritual person. And the other one says, what is this prayer stuff? I don't want to do that. You just go on your list. Sorry, Charlie. You're off the list, buddy. Because believe me, at that point, if he's doing that, 10 years later, he'll be mocking the faith in front of your children. Which frequently happens, by the way. Don't make a mistake at the beginning. Include prayer in your relationship from the beginning. And don't, but he's so good looking. So what? He'll make your life miserable. He'll be running off with your best friend before you know it. He'll be doing things, you won't believe it. Oh, he wouldn't do that. Yes, he would.